Good morning, friends, dear colleagues. Welcome you all back. I'm here again, and sorry for yesterday's abrupt ending. Again, I repeat, I'm sorry for yesterday's abrupt ending. Actually, the electricity supply went off, and I could not continue. Today, I'm going to continue, and I'm going to end employee development. I'll begin with the last part of employee development, which is about employee, which is about basically place. Even if it takes place, it will not be that effective. We are dealing with, we are basically with transfer of knowledge, and for which we need the correct or right environment. And that's why in employee development, developing a learning environment is fundamental, is basic. And I see the learning environment as a number one element which must be correct. Otherwise, learning will only be a futile exercise which will carry little meaning. So, that's the point of discussion. Today's point, briefly, the last part of employee development, that is the learning environment. I hope all of you, my friends, are having a wonderful time at your workplace or wherever you are. It composes of a number of elements or sub-elements. Let's start with the sub-elements. The organization must have a culture of learning that's supported by top management. What do I mean by this? There must be a culture of learning which must be nurtured by the top management. By culture, I mean a way, it's a trend in our thinking which reflects in our behavior. Culture does not come automatically, it must be nurtured by the top management. It is a pattern, it's a trend, it's a way of thinking related to learning. It's seldom discussed, but it carries enormous weight. In order to have a learning environment, we have to have a learning culture, which must be endorsed, supported, appreciated by the top management. Scholars like Charles Handy, Edgar Schein, Delian Kennedy Hofstede, and many other scholars have concentrated on learning. Have concentrated on culture. And at this moment of time, the culture that I'm referring to is a culture of learning. Sadly enough, small enterprises, to some extent, lack nurture, lack nurturing a culture of learning. Culture, you might ask me, what is a culture? Culture is a set of beliefs which emerges from values and can influence behavior of the members of an organization. So basically, culture is a set of beliefs emerging from values and can influence behavior of the members within an organization. It's a way of how we think about learning within an organization. That's what culture is to me. And before going into any attitude and learning assumptions, important is the learning vision. The top management will have to take the lead role by the help of a suitably qualified human resource practitioner to define the learning vision, which must correspond to the vision of the organization. The next point is, as I said earlier, it's the endorsement of the top management. The top management does not need to get involved. Just the encouragement, the support, the endorsement, the appreciation of learning is important. And in order to appreciate learning, learning must be respected. As I understand, if we do not respect learning, there's no point talking about learning. I believe top management needs to learn, at the same time, employee needs to learn. And it is not only about learning, it is about respecting learning. If you don't respect something, you won't get it. Learning deserves respect. At least that's how I see things, being an HRM practitioner for around 30 years. If I don't respect something, that thing will not come to me. By support of the top management via a suitably qualified human resource management practitioner. Employees and the employers must see the benefit of learning, which can be financial or non-financial. But there must be something in the learning to take away. Learning enhances one's career. What do I mean? What do I mean by career? It's a sequence of roles leading to a higher role, but depends on learning. The environment nurtures creativity and innovation. In such a culture, learning really takes place, where creativity and innovation is respected. There must be justice within an organization, or to some extent, fairness within an organization. It matters. It has an impact on learning also. Learning adds value This needs to be realized by the top management, by the stakeholders, by all. It is not only about respect, learning adds value. A clear message to all the stakeholders. There must be some kind of motivation. You cannot create a learning environment without motivation. So, my friends, this was the last bit of my yesterday's episode about learning and development. Let me reflect back and summarize everything in a nutshell. A learning intervention depends on four elements. Number one element is defining the learning requirement. What will I learn? It needs to be defined. That's how I see things. It must be defined what I'm learning. Next item is designing a learning program. And the first part of designing a learning program is identifying the learning needs. How do I identify learning needs? A number of ways can be taken into account. For example, performance appraisal, performance analysis, manager's recommendation, governmental changes, technological changes, etc. All these necessitate learning. Even in the designing stage, after I have actually defined the learning, identified what needs to be learned, I then talk about the contents of learning. What will I put in the learning? What will I teach the people, my employees? What do I intend? Talking about the aims and objectives of learning. Remember, I'm still in the design stage where I'm talking about the aims and objectives of the learning will have to be clarified. Then we are talking about venue. Then we will be talking about the trainer, who will be trained, who will be the trainer. And then I'll be talking about who will be the learners. What will be the method of the transfer of knowledge. And then I'll be talking about the success factors of a training. All these elements are in the design stage. Then comes the implementation. At the end, it will be evaluation. Evaluation can be immediate through the learners, and after a while, I might ask the managers what they felt about the training. Did the training make a difference in performance or not? But that will come later on. First of all, I'd like to see the reaction of the learners, how they felt about the learning event, about the learning experience. My friends, this is all. With this, I close the episode Employee Development, which I could not carry on yesterday due to electricity failure. God bless you all. Thank you all. Have a nice day.